My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment. I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And a Cutie Pie episode in 2026? It's more possible than you think. I'm gonna be real. There's only 2 of us today, and this was not the topic we were supposed to be doing. We're also not recording on our normal day, which is why there's only 2 of us, because I had so much work, like, from my job that I definitely love. And I just couldn't record on a normal day. I was too frazzled, too overworked. And so we had to move it, and we were the only 2 available. So we did have a different topic for today. And we were going to do that topic. But then we were like, it's with just the 2 of us. The topic was like just not as, it just wasn't as fun. Like it was one of those that really would benefit from more people. So Sky and I were like chatting, and Sky was like, hey, like one thing that you're obsessed with that no one else has ever dared to join you in. But I, for you, as a special treat, will watch Cutie Pie, and we can do a Cutie Pie episode. And I was like, holy shit, it's happening. It's happening. Like this sort of, Sky and I probably about once a year, we have like an episode that's just the 2 of us due to scheduling. And we'll like watch something, we'll like exchange an obsession. So last year we did like a really involved My Dearest episode. And My Dearest is one of Sky's favorite dramas. And then this year, I will say, I feel like Cutie Pie a little less of a stressful watch
than My Dearest. A little different. They're just a little different.
The titles may sound similar in like endearing, but the vibes could not be more different between these 2 shows. For anyone who's maybe new and doesn't know, I am the world's biggest Cutie Pie The Series fan. Other people think they are incorrect. It's me. I'm obsessed. Cutie Pie is a 2022 gay fan fiction brought to life drama. It's from Thailand. Made by Domandi, which is the company. It's starring Nunu Charawin and Z Pruk. And it is, I gotta like set this up properly for people. Like I had to sort of like, I find myself unnecessarily justifying how much I love this drama, because I don't think I should have to justify myself.
But also, how many times do you estimate you have watched this?
Okay, so it came out in 2022, and I watch it at least 4 times a year. So many. Because when I'm stressed, and I just rewatched it as well. So when I'm stressed, I'm like, you know what would go like really great right now in this very moment? Watching Cutie Pie. I feel like that would heal me. And oftentimes it does pick up my mood, And so Sky has joined me now as the only other member of this podcast who have watched Cutie Pie The Series. And I feel like, to be honest, you're the only one who would have actually enjoyed the experience of watching this drama.
Probably.
Like, because it doesn't really have any sort of, it's a straight rom-com, which means Jessie's not that interested.
It is straight up rom. Like, there's nothing else going on, really.
It's scant on the sports. So I don't think
we get this much soccer.
We get a little bit of just like intramural soccer,
and then like
some cars. Yeah, there's some cars and motorcycles, but not a lot. So I don't think like that's it's got nothing much for Amanda to be intrigued by. But Sky, on the other hand, she liked a good rom-com. She likes a good gay rom-com, a little romp.
So what were your caveats that you were trying to give us?
So the caveats are, now, it's my main caveat with watching all things is you can't let good be the enemy of enjoyable. Okay? And I'm not saying this show is bad, because in terms of like Thai BL rom-coms, this is like on the better end. Like if we're looking at a scale of quality, like This is on the quality end. But I do know this show has been very divisive amongst BL watchers. You either love it, or if you're on MDL and looking at the 2 top reviews, you either love it or you loathe it with every instance of your being. But I love it. And from what Sky, I haven't actually like asked her, but like she was giving me little updates as she watched, and I feel like
I was having fun.
You were having fun because it's a fun show. Yeah.
It doesn't take itself too seriously either. Like
No. Like, for God's sakes, it has the actor Poppy in it as like one of the secretaries, and he's just goofing it up to new levels thither unseen in a BL before. And so as like a little, before we really get into this discussion, this show is 4 years old. So we will probably have spoilers, and by probably I mean we definitely will have spoilers. So just know that.
But also it's a rom-com with an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
So like
you can kind of figure out
how much can you get spoiled?
Like this isn't okay, so there's 2 types of shows that exist in the world. Like this is my true belief that there's 2 types of shows that exist in the world. Like divorced from genre, divorced from anything. There's shows that are plot driven and there's shows that are character driven. And this one is not a plot driven show. Like plot, that's
Who is she?
Who is she? She's irrelevant. Like, but characters,
we're doing things.
The whole thing. The whole thing is just characters doing things, but like there's no real big story happening here. But there is like a story, I guess, like a plot for the better words. And I'll tell you what it is right now. And it's not what it says on my drama list. My drama list is a bit misleading with what it says is going on. That's not actually the plot. It's one of those where it's like that sounds vaguely correct, but is incorrect when you think about it for more than 5 minutes. So our main character is Kua, or Kieran, as he has a code name, who is a sort of heir to like an aristocratic. Thank you, Jesus Christ, I can't speak. No, like aristocratic family in Thailand. Okay, and he has been in love with his like sort of companion since childhood, named Leon, who was from like a business family that was friends with his parents. And so they would come over, and he's Leon's older than him, like probably like eight or so years older than him. And they would come over, and he was his like companion as his whole childhood. And he's been in love with him since he's been a little kid. He's been in love with this older guy. And so his grandpa, before he died, was like, all right, like you guys, you know, you're in love with each other, and I'm a cool grandpa that it might be hinted was also gay himself. There was a little
I kept wondering, who's this second old dude?
And
then like later on it's like, oh,
it's like never like really explicitly explicitly said, but you're just like, it was gay. Gramps was in the community, right? And it's like, well, you two are clearly like perfect for each other, so we're gonna have like a fun little arranged gay marriage. And so even though he goes and does like his high school in England, and then he comes back, and he every Friday goes on a date with his fiance and pretends to be what he thinks his fiance wants, which is like a very proper, like quiet, calm, you know, just dude who's studying computer engineering, like very, you know, perfect, you know, trophy husband material. But secretly, he doesn't think anyone will like this about him, but he's secretly like a musician. He like secretly buys motorbikes and like races them, and he loves sports cars. And he's a little bit of a bad boy, but not, and he's not even studying computer engineering like he told everyone he was. He's actually been studying automotive engineering because he's obsessed with fast cars. And he's like, he's got a bit of like a little snarky attitude to him. Like he's a bit like, he's a human. He's a human being. Like he gets upset about things, but he always pretends that he doesn't. So meanwhile, he doesn't think anyone knows, but his fiance 100% knows this the entire time that this show is going on. And his fiance is like, I don't like, they get into a big fight where he's like, oh, like, do you even love me? And he's like, how he basically says, this fake persona of yours, I don't, because that's what he wants to what he means to say is I don't actually love this fake persona that you've put up. But to this kid, it's very clear that what he hears, because that's what is said, is that I don't love you. And so he's like, you know what? This engagement is over. We're done. And then his rich older fiance is like, I don't think so. Nice try. And then it's just like, I'm going to make you forced proximity live in my house. And I'm going to get all of your secrets out of you, and we're gonna fall in love and get married. And that's the whole plot of this show. There's also like a couple other couples, but they're less important to them. We'll get into them. But that's the main plot. That's the plot in air quotes, because it's like it's a plot. It's the vibe. The show is here for the vibes. Now, I have watched it, as I said, at least 4 times a year since it came out. Sky, this was her first experience with not only watching Cutie Pie, but with any of the actors.
Yeah, I think I haven't
in
seen
it.
any of them.
Yeah. So, Sky, what were your initial thoughts upon take us through the experience of watching Cutie Pie for the first time in 2026?
So other I'm not saying the title's misleading, but because the title is what it is, like I thought it'd be a little fluffier. I know that sounds odd, but as far as because the main character guy, he has kind of this like secret life, but it's not like he's doing anything sketchy.
bad.
Honestly,
Yeah.
he has a very successful music career is what it that plus
and he likes to race cars.
Like,
yeah.
And he has like he has a secret very nice house. Which like but you can see why he would be hiding that from the guy that he's trying to impress. Like you get that, especially
who he thinks that you wants a perfect husband, right? For
which
business purposes.
Yeah, he's a CEO type. So like you see like you can out of the gate the CEO vibes were kind of off just because that fight is kind of out of the gate. Like it's pretty
it's your first introduction to this guy is this really sort of awful fight that they get into where he says some pretty mean stuff.
I don't love you. And then that breaks this kid's heart. So so we go from there. But since I didn't know there was really music involved, like I wasn't having that expectation necessarily. And because the title Cutie Pie, I just thought it was like
they're just be cute.
So the whole Cutie Pie thing, it's from like the first song he sings in the show. So like I thought that was kind of fun. So music, like that won me over pretty quick. And his voice is gorgeous. Like
Nunu has a really nice voice.
So good.
And it is actually him singing, by the way, for anyone who didn't know. He is a singer. So
like if at times it looks lip sync, it's still his voice. Like that is him. Yeah. Right. But so like I loved him singing. Like each time he was singing, it was great. I thought it was like I never got super upset. There's a lot of miscommunications, but they're not even that severe most of the time. It's all for the drama. Like it's all for the that's the plot is typically we're not quite telling each other everything, therefore then we get mad. Like that's the plot.
That's like such a classic rom-com setup that you can't even be upset because you're like, that's how these things work.
Whereas like there was kind of a bigger reveal later on that if I was the character, I would have been like out of the house and demanding answers immediately. But that is not the way, because we do drama. We have to like stretch that sucker out and like but it still didn't blow up near what I figured it was worth. And I thought like his friends and stuff were really cute too. Like I thought everything was pretty fun.
I do like there's like certain moments in this show that genuinely like delight me in a fun way. So, for instance, I'll go through a few that I'm just like, there's where the spoilers start, everyone, just
Yeah,
so you
we were
know.
trying to avoid until now.
Yeah,
So
here's where the spoilers start. So there's at one point, like in like the second episode, like it happens really quickly. Um, uh, Kua gets drunk at the bar that he sings at, which is owned by a friend of the show, not really friend of the show, friend of my heart, Perth.
I was like,
Uh,
"Perth, I know."
Perth
Okay, I
and
do know
Perth was
him.
there.
He's
Yeah,
the
you
one
do.
I
That's true. That's true. You do know who Perth is because I'm also obsessed with him. Um, who runs this bar and is just
he has a
he
lot
gets
of lines, like, he's
yeah,
all over the place.
he's living his best life. Um, and he gets drunk, and then like Leon is the one who brings him home, but he's so drunk that he doesn't fully realize it's him. And there's like this very sad moment, like right out of the gate in the car, where he like in his drunken state does sort of realize it's him and just bursts into tears and is like, why won't you love me? Like, what do I have to do? Meanwhile, he's been in love with him forever. So he's just like, you really just have to not pretend to be fake ass bitch. Like, that's all. But they get to like this secret house that he takes him to. Like, cause he gives, you know, he drives into the secret house and like they go in. And in this secret house, like Kua has built this like shrine to their fake like romantic life that they have. Like he has photoshopped their faces onto romantic pictures and all this. And it's like in most instances that would be incredibly creepy, right?
Or even cringy. It wasn't even
Just
cringy.
cringy. And so, you know, Leon sees this and like the energy is like, joke's on you, he's into that shit. Like, so that's the other one. And then there's this one scene where he then, when he's like gone, he goes into like about halfway through the show, he goes into extreme, like, I'm gonna seduce my fiance mode, like Leon does. And so he's been picking him up from school. And so he shows up at like the college to pick him up. And he's there with all of his like automotive engineering friends. And he's like, shit, like my fiance thinks I'm in computer engineering. Like, what are we gonna do? And so they all then pretend to be like nerdy computer engineering and they're like walking so properly. And the whole scene is done with such comedic, like, why, hello, yes, it's nice to meet you. Like, we are his computer engineering friends. Yes. And it's just done, like, there's little moments like this throughout the show that are so charming that you're just like, I'm charmed. I'm charmed by this show.
There's whatever percentage of the show that is honestly there's a front that's trying to be put up, but the other character is already in on the joke, which
Yeah.
makes it funnier.
Because it's like, why you don't have to be doing all this, but you're doing all this, you know?
And a lot of that does hinge on just a lot is not explicitly said, like, because it really is that first fight that we got, it really should have been, "Stop your act. I know
Yeah.
everything," and that would have, like, killed
That
half
would have
the
changed.
show.
That would have just been like that. The plot of the show, as much as it was scant, would have just been ruined if he actually said what he meant, which was, I know that this isn't you. Like, this is a fake version of you that I'm not in love with. Cause like it's fake as shit. Like, I know, you know, I grew up with you. I know this ain't you. Like, um, there's like another scene. Like the first scene, I think that really indicates that Leon's actually in love with him. Because you as the viewer only know things from Kua's personality, right? From his point of view, because the show is done mostly through his point of view. And so you're like, okay, does this guy actually love him? Or is this just like because they're families?
Because
were
out of the
together?
gate, he seems just very stoic CEO is what
Yeah.
we're getting.
But there's like a scene where after he forces him to move in with him, he bullies him into moving into his house, and he's like set up like a secret like music room for him, and he has like a camera, and he's like watching him drumming, and he's like, yes, like all to my plan. And then Kua then takes off his shirt, and he's like, whoa, he like, puts the phone down. He's like, oh no, like, but there's this moment where he's like about to be like, but maybe I'll look I'll look again. And then his secretary walks in and he's like, oh, we gotta take all those cameras out. we gotta take all the cameras out. It's like, wait, what? And there's just like a lot of fun, just cute little moments that really give this show an energy that has stuck with me
It's also,
personally.
when it comes to the main couple, it can seem it's not really high stakes ever because they're engaged. Like,
Yeah,
and they do love each other, and you figure that out pretty
pretty
early.
quickly. Like,
So even if you know there's gonna be a misunderstanding that has to be, like, said to each other or whatever,
mhm.
you kinda know they're not really gonna break up, so it's
Yeah,
not
you know it's
really
not gonna be like a noble idiocy or anything. Like, you're just like,
right.
we're just waiting for the smooches, you know?
And there's a lot of
There's
smooches.
a lot of smooches. But sometimes you think they're gonna happen, like, there's at one point right when he moves in, he's, like, showing him around the house, and there's, like, a moment where he gets, like, like, I don't wanna use aggressive as the word, but they're, like, on the bed, and he's like, "Ah, I'm just kidding, like, I'm not actually going to, like, make out with you." And then, he's about to get up, and then Kua then grabs his tie and pulls him back and is like, "Don't if you're not gonna do it, like, don't be playing me, sir." Uh, but it's just the show is like funny, it's sexy, it's well filmed, it's pretty well acted. I feel like I don't know what people were expecting from it. Cause like I have it as a high rating, but it is rated like 7.6, which is like for a BL like this, it's like bizarrely low
Oh,
on
really?
MTL. Yeah, normally people are a lot more forgiving with BLs because like, we all have we understand the expectations, but like I guess it was a very divisive show. And I do not understand why, personally. But I know that I'm a biased audience
Yes, you a little bit.
because I am its biggest fan, you know?
Mhm.
But like you might have a better because you're not as obsessed with it as I am. You're not obsessed with it at all, I don't think. So,
No, no, not obsessed. Like, as far as if I have to say, like, critical things about it, it would be
mm,
it's probably a little long
mm,
because of
they're padding it a bit, you know?
because of the
'Cause,
lack of, like, other plot, and like
yeah,
I
it could have probably
the
been 10 episodes
misunderstandings
instead of
go kind
12.
of long, but the thing is, this is not from what I hear, that's not out of the ordinary from a lot of these types of shows.
No.
So it's not like this is a unique problem.
Yeah.
Um, there's things that I would critique that I just find funny, like, how many times do we need to propose to each other? Like, that stuff just made me laugh. But, like, it takes up time like, you're spending an hour each episode, like, and it's like,
Mhm.
"Wow, okay, but we're already engaged, do we have to keep
Yeah.
proposing to ea" like, okay.
Well, see,
Um,
that was the family Sky. That was the
I know,
family
but then
engagement.
and then it was like a battle of proposals eventually, which was hilarious, by the way. That's not
Yeah.
a critique. The battle of
They're all trying to,
proposals was
like,
funny.
be the one both trying to be the one to propose, which is like, what a vibe. It's like, "No, I gotta do it first." So they keep, like, foiling each other's proposals so that they can propose instead.
That
Like,
was all
that's
very
good.
funny.
That's good.
Uh, like, I mean, I thought it was great for what it was. I think it could have been a little shorter. Like, if it was 10 episodes, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like, as far as it didn't necessarily need to be 12. Um, but also, like I said, just plot. I did think the land deed okay, there's a situation
Okay.
where kind of early on we figure out for whatever purpose, and it doesn't seem super nefarious, but definitely seems like something's up.
Something's going on. Yeah.
Um, our CEO fella is you could tell he was not being secretive about it, but he definitely wasn't like
Being open.
being open about it either. He was getting all of his fiance's family's property in his name.
Mhm.
And there's no explanation. We're just like, "Hmm,
Hmm.
that's a big deal." Like, you just
Hmm.
know that's a big deal. This
Hmm.
aristocratic family pretty much all but one of the properties being fully in his name. And so then later on, that's kinda like the big to me, that could have been the big blow up of a
Yeah.
relationship pretty quick. Um, and I thought he took it pretty well. Like,
Well, like he was upset about it because he then finds out later on that the reason this is happening is not because of some like sinister takeover
see,
by
I would if I was him, I would have assumed sinister takeover, and
yeah,
I would have immediately broke up with the dude. Like,
yeah. But instead, like Leon had been talking with like the family, like his family is very close with like the main character's parents, and found out that their aristocratic family has no money. And they're going bankrupt because they were big in the silk trade. And recently, like in the modern era, like the silk trade's not as, lucrative as it was. So they are, on the not going bankrupt, but on the verge of if they continue to have to maintain the cost of all of these properties. So he was like, because we're family and I'm marrying your son and love him, and I have tons of money because I'm an incredibly successful entrepreneur, like I'll buy.
water salesman.
He's a water salesman. He owns bars. Like he's inheriting his dad's like very like successful ice company. Like he's got a little fingers in
Everywhere.
a lot of pies. Um, so he's like, yeah, I will take over the cost of all of these properties that are draining all of your family's resources because we're family, because I'm marrying your son. And then even like they didn't want to tell this kid because they don't tell this kid anything. Like when his grandpa died, he didn't even know his grandpa was sick. So like he gets a call, he's in England, and they're like, oh yeah, your grandpa died. Like that's a wild.
So, in the show, the character, like, he kind of has some trust issues, but you see where that came from.
Yeah, because like you get the sense through like these events that no one actually tells him anything or tells him the truth about anything. And then so why would he reciprocate with telling them about his secret life when he thinks that they want him to be the perfect, aristocratic boy who's very proper and all this, but all he wants to do is play the drums and race motorcycles. Like you get why he acts the way he does on their, weekly dates where he pretends to be just fine with everything and really understanding and really polite. When inside he's like, I'm going to cut a bitch. Like I'm very upset about what's happening right now, but I'm going to be very proper. And like you understand throughout the show, I thought it was done pretty well that like you do understand why these people act the way they do. It's like you might be confused in the first couple episodes,
Yeah.
like why like, Leanne is like being so like harsh and mean to him. And then you very quickly realize like, oh, he knows that it's all bullshit. Like that this kid's whole personality that he shows to his family and him is just absolute nonsense.
But I will say, like, so we have the drummer character. Like,
Mhm.
he's hiding his. It's interesting how the CEO character is very like, he thinks, oh, my fiance has all these secrets that he's keeping.
Mhm.
Like, I know them, of course, but like,
Yeah. But
He ha
he doesn't know that
he
he
has
knows.
but he's like, "He has all these secrets, and he needs to tell me," and it's like, "Buddy, you're hiding stuff too." Like, you
Yeah.
keep pretending
And
that
then
you're not hiding anything, and it's like,
he's always
land
like, "Yeah,
deeds
I'm gonna tell him," but he never does tell him. He always
and,
says he will.
you know,
Fair's fair, sir. Fair's fair.
so it's just you both had secrets from each other that you kept not telling each other, and
Mhm.
therefore that's where but that's what makes a show. If we
Yeah,
all
if
if
they were all
again,
open and honest and communicate, that would just be Skies and Minds marriages. That wouldn't be an interesting show.
it's not that
We would be a
fascinating.
very boring like, listen, if the show was made about Sky and I, it would be a very boring do nothing show. It's like we love communicating. That's not an interesting show. Now there is a second half of this show that
Oh,
is there is a secondary, well, there's also a tertiary, but they're not really that important. But there's a secondary couple in this show. Because not only are these two guys engaged, both of their best friends are in a weird pseudo relationship with each other. And it's not like fully explained in this show, but they do have another show called Naughty Babe, which if you're a longtime listener, you know, I refer to the hot dad from Naughty Babe, because one of their characters in Naughty Babe has an incredibly hot dad. Um,
You're saying
you
that like that pertains to the plot.
that doesn't pertain to the plot, but it does. They do. Find out more about the relationship in Naughty Babe, which I will tell you is a much more frustrating watch. If you thought the miscommunication in Cutie Pie was something else, wait, like imagine that one of the characters gets amnesia. Yeah. On the eve of the other one trying to like leave them.
Oh.
Just think about that in that context. But basically, you've got these two other characters that like they don't live together, but they do live together.
Super confusing.
And they're in a relationship, but they're not really in a relationship. They're in like the most situationship you've ever seen in your life.
But for like a big portion of it, it's not like they are. So it's a situationship, but it's not. Like they're not kissing or anything. They're
No.
not truly dating at all. Like
Yeah.
it's not. There's
It's
no
just, like,
physical aspect to it.
It just seems like the younger one, who's like Kua's best friend, is just like a cute little dude who doesn't seem to be doing much. He's just a cute little guy. He's just a cute little guy who lives in one of the houses owned by this rich guy who owns a bunch of like exotic car dealerships. That's his actual job. Like I love when they don't just do business. Like you actually find out why this rich man is rich. And the reason this rich man is rich is because he's like a car importer. Like he runs like imported car show houses and like racing circuits and stuff. And so he just lives in his house, and it's like they're kind of together, but it seems more like the younger guy who's just sort of vibing is very much in love with this car dealership owner, who seems like he's like the guy's sort of like his dad, but not his daddy, let's say. But like you then find out like there's like a weird, it's not super explained in this, but it is explained in Naughty Babe, like because the point of this was not to like focus on them too much. But they eventually turn from a weird parental relationship to a romantic relationship through possibly one of the funniest memes that I've seen in a show, where they essentially have a baby to save their marriage, but it's not a baby. The car dealership guy buys him a chihuahua, and that dog is not an actor, okay?
That dog is a little stressed out.
Yeah, that dog, like, it's very clear that this is just, like, someone's pet dog who was just, like, shanghaied into being on this BL show. And it's not like they're putting, like...
And this is way later in the show. This is, like...
Yeah, this is, like, the last third of the show. And this dog is so fucking cute. This dog is so cute. And, there's like this misunderstanding about the dog where the little guy is under the impression that the car dealership guy loves like exotic meat eating, and so could possibly be interested in eating this dog, and he's like, stay away from him, like don't eat. He's like, what, who the hell told you I eat dog? Like, I'm just trying to be nice to your dog so you'll like me more. Like that dog is so fucking cute though. But Sky was laughing because they kept referring to the dog as she, but it was very clearly a male dog.
Well, like that makes sense. I wasn't trying to like prove it wrong. It was just
it was just funny.
They brought the dog up like fully showing that it was not
that was a man dog. That was a little boy dog. It was
the main
there.
thing that was on the camera. Okay, that's the only reason why I was like, just kind of funny, but okay.
You know, dogs don't have gender.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, dogs don't have gender. It was a very cute little long-haired chihuahua, but very, very amusingly, they do recast the dog in Naughty Babe to a different Chihuahua that is very clearly an actor. And also gets to wear a bunch of cute little outfits. So if that's like an interest to you, and you know you like Cutie Pie, but never watched Naughty Babe, it could be an interest to you.
Cutie Pie and cute Naughty Pie and Cutie Babe.
Naughty Pie and Cutie Babe. That's right. But like the thing is, between like these two, you don't actually have to have seen Cutie Pie to understand Naughty Babe fully, because like it's sort of just. This is just a little preview for Naughty Babe. It sort of forgets all the things that happened in Cutie Pie to a great extent, and like starts the characters back at zero.
Wait, so it's not a prequel type thing?
No, it takes place 3 years later. But they like act like the things that happened didn't happen.
Oh, so it does say spinoff. For some reason, when I clicked on it earlier on MDL, I thought it said prequel. So I was like, okay. Weird. Yeah. But what I want to say about that couple, when it is kind of like the guardian type role for like the car dealership dude, it's just overprotective.
So overprotective.
Need to know where you are at like 24/7. It's not quite stalker, but it is too much. He's trying too much.
But it's like, the thing is, if they had actually explained why he's like that,
it would have maybe been endearing.
It would have been a bit less grating, because like there is an actual legitimate reason why he acts like that. And if you're wondering, is the answer childhood trauma?
There you go.
Yeah, listen, you might be a winner. But like, it seems like a bit much, but there was like sort of a fun bit where he's like, you know, so Leon and, what is that other guy's name? Yi. Yi. They're also like best friends, like these two rich older dudes. By older, they're like 28. Okay. Like they're not old, they're, you know, late 20s.
They always wear suits compared to the other kids.
The kids who don't wear suits. Because they're businessmen. That's how we know. That's how we know they're successful businessmen. They gotta wear suits. They gotta go to fancy places and wear suits. He like jokes that like, you know, Condiao, who's like his little dude, the little dude who just is there, like he has his own ways of like getting what he wants from me. And the answer is that Condiao just bursts into tears anytime he's upset. And it's just like, valid. Queen, valid. Like anytime this guy's even remotely like, you know, stern, waterworks. And I'm just like, yeah, like listen, it works every time. And if it keeps working, it got you a cute dog. It got him to move into your house when you wanted him to. It got him to take you on a nice skateboard date. Like, you know, like, just saying. But a lot of these things, like I feel like they should have, I can criticize things that I love. I think it's important to be able to do that, because I don't blindly love Cutie Pie being like, this is the best show ever made. I know it's not. But I feel like if they had taken some more of the time to like explain the motivations of some of these secondary characters, which you get a little bit towards the end, because like they introduce like Condiao's dad, who's a piece of work and is constantly like demanding, but it doesn't explain why he lets this dude's dad demand things from him all the time, which in Naughty Babe you do find out the motivations, like perhaps he was semi-responsible for a situation that went down. But like, I feel like some motivation, so like in the tertiary characters, you have like the little friend group from college, and one of them is like a cute little super Buddhist sweetie. And this kid who joins transfers into their department, who's all Riz. Just, this man, he's hot, he's kind, and he's going to be flirting. He's going to be flirting. But
and he's smart too.
He's smart. Yeah, he's the whole package. But it doesn't actually explain like why he immediately comes in and is like, I'm a flirt with Kua, the only one who has a partner. Like, I feel like we could have had a little bit more motivation for why
Even if
that
you
went
just had
down.
0.2 seconds of like
Him seeing him
a year prior, he saw him,
something.
thought he was cute. You know, like
Yeah,
that's
something. But
because he
then
definitely came in with a plan.
like he
I
came in, he was like, I am going, like, I like he very quickly switched his plan because little Buddhist boy was so cute that he's like, you know what though? Why try to steal someone who has a fiance when I can just use Buddhist scripture to riz up this kid, and I will. And it's just like, sir, you tailor things to your audience. I like it. And he's just like a nice guy. But like I feel like that could have used more motivation. Just like explaining the reason that people do things, not in an expository way.
right, but just like an extra sentence or
Context.
two.
Like just some context, a scene here and there to be like, oh, like you get, there's like for the second couple, it's like you get a bit about like a dog, right? Like being like, oh, are you afraid of dogs? But it's never like explained like why he would think this guy was afraid of dogs. He just says, oh, it's my fault. I did something, something happened. And it's just like, you could have just
well,
given us something.
it's a little confusing because like later on you have a small flashback where it's like dog attack
Yeah.
thing that happened, but it's like
I will tell you that does get slightly retconned in Cutie in a Naughty Babe. The animal may change to a different one,
oh
but just
well, so there's a moment where he's like, I pretty much you could tell that his motivation for getting the chihuahua was not only like to butter him up kind of,
yeah.
but it was also to see if he was still afraid of dogs. And it was
Mhm.
just like, don't get someone a dog to see if they're afraid of dogs.
Yeah, but
That's
also,
insane.
listen, I gotta say, if you're trying to figure out if this kid
Chihuahua not gonna
who
work.
yeah, no, like, who, like, by the way, as you've been seen previously hugging a golden retriever, like, I don't think the Chihuahua is really the dog to test out someone's true fear of the canine species. And especially because this was not like a Chihuahua on the larger end of Chihuahuas. This was a Chihuahua on the
Like,
smaller end of
4-pound
Chihuahuas.
chihuahua.
Yeah, like listen, like my Chihuahua rip buddy was 3 pounds, and it's like this Chihuahua was not much bigger than him, and he could fit in my palm. So I'm just like, no, there's never been a person on this planet who was scared of my old dog Diablo. No one saw him and was like, oh, what a terrifying creature. They're all just like, oh, what a little dumb dog rat. And I'm like, yeah. So the Chihuahua's not the one to test this situation with, but obviously this kid's not afraid of dogs. You fucking love that golden retriever. I don't know what you're, what you're talking about.
There's just sometimes, but none of this is ever that serious. So like sometimes like that doesn't really make sense. Oh well, and then you just kind of whatever.
I feel like the way this was described by someone, I forget who said it. This was back in the Twitter days, because when this came out, Twitter wasn't quite the Nazi paradise that it is anymore. It still, a little bit was, but not so much. Someone described it as a Wattpad novel come to life. And that's exactly what this show is. Like it's only a few plot points away from My Mom Sold Me to One Direction. Like it's very much, yeah, none of this is ever meant to be taken as like serious or real, but I will say it does take itself very seriously in a few ways. So first off, Kua does call out one of his friends for making him uncomfortable about things.
Like deep, like a multiple like a paragraph type of conversation. Like
where he's like, hey, the way that you talk about this makes me uncomfortable, and I wish you wouldn't say that. And his friend, instead of getting upset, is like, you know what? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to.
Well, and then he pretty much goes into like why it makes him like,
yeah,
it was, I was impressed.
And then later the only female character also calls out the friend for saying something misogynistic, and the friend's like, you know what? You're right. I was wrong. I was
Punish
wrong.
myself.
And then the other thing it takes very seriously is like queer representation and queer rights. So the first time you actually meet Leon, he's at like a meeting, like a marketing meeting for his water company, and they're talking about a new ad, and they wanted to make an ad that sort of like poked fun at a trans woman. And he was like, we're not doing that ad. We're not making fun of trans women at this water company. And then later on, it goes into several, not just one, several between multiple characters. Because just for anyone, this was before gay marriage was passed in Thailand. So it goes into multiple discussions about why gay marriage is important, why gay marriage should be legalized, how they wish that gay marriage was a thing right now, but how they hope it will be passed soon and it should be. And I was like, okay, it's kind of nice that this show, which took place before that passed, but while like it was taking place while like the discussions of getting that going were, happening, that it doesn't divorce itself from the existence of what was happening at the time.
Yeah.
It says, no, we want to talk about this whole situation because it's important to us, because it would be important to our characters who in this world live in the world that exists in right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was nice.
Yeah, like there's even a monologue like near the kind of at the very end and stuff, and it's really good.
Yeah. And so like it takes it but that's like the most serious it takes itself.
Yeah. And it took itself very seriously in the monologue.
And it didn't treat itself, but it doesn't seem like it didn't seem out of place for the characters.
Sense.
Like it wasn't like a PSA, like a very special episode of Cutie Pie. It was just like, yeah, I hope that, we could go to another country and get married if you want to. Like we could go to Kua's parents live in Austria canonically in this, where it's like, we can go to Austria. They're in the EU. They have gay marriage in Austria. Like we can go and see your parents right now. Like, but, and he's like, no, but we hope that they would have it here because they even go into like, they're having like a discussion where you meet more of Leon's friends at his bar that he owns who like have like a whole, played by Boone and Prem.
I was about
by
to
the
say,
way, just there's a little cameo.
I recognized one
fun.
of these fellas that I was like, I think they're like a pair, right?
They are because we did an episode on Between Us and Until We Meet Again, and they're the couple from Between Us and the second couple from Until We Meet Again. And they're now at GMM-TV, so they just made that vampire show revamped. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It was, the show, it's one of those shows where it's like, it's not that serious, but it knows that there are serious things that affect like the character, that would affect the characters portrayed in this show.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't pretend, like it doesn't live. Sometimes you watch like a Thai BL or like, and it's like it's taking place in kind of like a fantasy version of the world. My husband and I refer to it as like the bisexual Thai Wonderland, where it's like nobody cares that anyone's gay, nobody cares that anyone's queer, everyone's having a good, like everyone's fine with everything. But it's like, we know that's not the reality. And the show doesn't pretend to exist in like a fake reality. Like there is later on a scene where they're at Leon's dad's birthday, and you can tell that Leon's parents, they're cool.
Oh, they're lovely.
They're cool. They're cool, lovely parents who are like, yeah, we don't like, we kind of figured out our son was gay as a kid, like, and we've decided like we went along with an arranged gay marriage with this other family. It wasn't even like a business thing at that point. It was just like, yeah, okay, our kids love each other, sure. And so they're at like his birthday party, and Liam has to go off somewhere, and then the dad introduces to like some other businessman like Kua as his son, his other son. And the guy's like, I thought you only had one son. And he goes, well, yeah, but this is my son's fiance. So he's like my other son. And that guy seems so, this like middle-aged man seems so taken aback that this guy would just be like, yeah, this is gonna be my son-in-law. So he's my son. And it's like, and I feel like interactions like that, though, even though it wasn't like a big, like, it wasn't like he recoiled in disgust or anything, but it was just sort of like grounding this, that like, even though this show is like a fantasy romance, not fantasy in the sense of like magic or anything, but just like a fantastical look at romance, which many rom-coms are.
Right.
Like many super romantic shows are not reflective of the real world, but it still like grounds it in like in a sense of reality, that it's like, yeah, not everyone you meet would actually be immediately like, oh,
Cute.
yes, well, we love gay people, but would be confused that like someone would openly introduce their son's, same-sex partner. It's, so it's not so, it's divorced from reality, but it's not so divorced from reality that you're like, this is inconceivable to exist in the world.
So what is it about this show that calls to you, you think? What like
There's
or
like,
is it
it's
just
hard.
the vibe?
Yeah, it's like, it's hard to articulate because like sometimes your brain, without you truly comprehending why, like latches on to like a certain, just something
Yeah.
that becomes sort of like a mental, I'm not gonna call it a crutch, but just sort of like a shelf that you can just like relax upon, like a bench. Let's call it a mental bench. You can just take a little, like, you can take, pop a squat, take a little relaxation, put your feet up, and have a little time. And it's just like, this show really has all the elements to really do that for me. It's like the chemistry between the characters, and not just like romantic chemistry. Like, for example, like the friendship between Kondiao and Kua, like is so nice. Like, it's just like
They say like I love you, like
yeah,
friend wise,
and
and
it's just like,
super cute.
and they work together. Like, there's even this cute one where they like make a joke about like, oh, like maybe like, it's a shame, like we'd be so perfect together, and they're like, no, that would be against God's will. Like, we can't we can't do that. Which is just like a little, like, that's explain the joke to somebody who knows, that means like two bottoms can't get together. Like, that's crazy.
The
Crazy.
twinks are like,
Like,
no.
no, we can't. But like their friendship is so just like understandable and nice, where it's just like they support each other and they help each other and they cover each other's asses, but they're still like, like they're still joking with each other. And it's like and even like the friendship between Lian and Yi, like you understand that friendship as well. Like, it's mostly Lian like shaking his head at Yi and being like, you're dumb as fuck. Like, but that friendship.
Then sometimes he is like, buddy, you don't have a leg to
But it's
stand
like,
on either.
it's like pot kettle, like. And then it's like, even when you meet like the little friend group, like
I love the girl. The girl,
she's so sassy, and like she's like, nah, I'm not gonna take any of y'all's shit. I'm the brains of this operation, and we all know it. Like, I designed the engine that you motherfuckers build. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, she's like, listen, I may not be the best at the actual physical portions of this, but it's like, but who's sitting here at this computer like making sure the schematics are, that's me. And y'all ain't gonna pull any misogynistic bullshit on me today. There's even like at one point they show like the relationship between Kua and like his family's maid, and even that's really nice, where it's like you can tell that everyone who meets this character, despite the fact that from his character type should be sort of a stuck-up, like rich, they all have fondness for this guy, because even though he's been having like a not that bad second life, you can tell he's a genuinely nice kid who just has a lot of love to give. And it's just, I like while I know I'm on the record as saying I love watching bad people do bad things, there's like a certain level of mental stress
Right.
when you're watching shows where bad people are doing bad things that like this show does not have, because the show doesn't have any like there's no actual real villains
Especially once
in
you
this
figure
show.
out that, like, Leon, like, really
Yeah,
adores
yeah,
Kua, like, just very, like, "Oh, we're safe, we're fine, like, no
yeah.
matter what happens, we're
It's like
good."
you can tell that, even when he's doing like, I some people would call it sort of aggressive. I would call it more cheeky than anything. You can
Cheeky
tell that,
teasing,
yeah, you
usually.
can tell that he would never push it further than, cool, be comfortable with, right?
There's a lot of apologizing.
Yeah. And then he's like, like, "Oh, I didn't," like at one point, like, Kua's doing some bullshit with a kitchen knife. And he's like, "Dude, like, what?" And he gets like, he's like, and then Kua starts crying because, like, he thinks that, Leon's mad at him. And Leon's like, "Okay, I need to actually apologize. I was just really worried that you were going to hurt yourself. I'm not mad at you. In fact," in that scene specifically, in fact, no, not mad in the least. Little horny maybe, but not mad in the least.
And Leon, like, the first 30 minutes or whatever,
Mhm.
I wouldn't even call him a villain, but you're kind of like you think you're gonna have to kinda be on guard against him in
Yeah,
your mind a little, because the way the acting's going, it does seem like he really doesn't he seems to
he
not
does
care
not
about
care
this
about this
kid.
kid. Yeah.
Right? And it's gonna be like, "Ooh, this is an uphill battle," and then once you figure out, "Oh, this isn't an uphill battle at all." Like
Oh, he actually deeply cares about this kid more than this kid even actually realizes.
then it's
Like,
like, "Oh,
oh, oh. Yeah, it's like as soon as you realize that no one here actually has sinister motivations, like even when, in the friend group, when this new transfer student comes in, he's risen everyone up and being so hot, and everyone's all suspicious of him. He doesn't have sinister motivations. He just thinks, Kua's cute. Like, is that a crime? He is.
he has too much riz for everyone." Is
Yeah.
what happened.
It's just like he's just too handsome. Like, listen, he's played by the actor Tudor. What's his last name here? Well, not his last name, his first name, but Tudor Korapat, and like he's very handsome. Like he wouldn't even need that much riz. Not gonna lie, but like he doesn't come in and he's like, I'm gonna get with this guy. He comes in and he's just nice to him. He's like, "Oh, I'll help you with this. Oh, I'll draw you a little picture to ask if you're doing okay. Oh, I'll be nice to you."
I will say, adorable in Cutie Pie 2 when he's, like, his internship buddy, and
Mhm.
there's a person showing interest in
Yeah.
Kuya again, and he's like and he's kind of trying to be like, "No, no, I've
He
done that too. No, no."
yeah, he becomes the friend group being like, "Not on our watch. Not on, we're not gonna be the trifling ass bitches. Not today."
It was pretty cute, and it was
Yeah.
more than one scene, like, it kinda kept being a shtick for a little bit.
But yeah, I think what makes this show so special to me personally
Mhm,
is just like it's the type of show that you can watch and just completely take a mental load off. You know what I mean? Like
mhm,
you do not have to like you know have any stress while watching it because you like from the get-go, like the music choices, like the way that it's shot, like the color tone and everything, like this is not going to be some like there's not going to be anything too depressing happening in this. And there truly isn't. And it's one of those where it's like every problem that exists will get solved
mhm.
by the end of the show. Even if like the way that it's solved seems, you know, oddly simplistic, but the show isn't it's not trying to be like a complex web of emotions. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's exactly what it says it is. It's a cute little show with a bunch of cute little people in it with good chemistry being cute. And it's like, and I like shows that are really upfront with what they're giving you.
Mhm.
And this show is that. And she did mention Cutie Pie 2. There is a sequel. It's only 4 episodes. Uh, and it's basically about them trying to have a wedding, is the basic plot. That one actually does have a bit of a plot. Where
Yeah,
they're just,
I'm only halfway through that,
yeah,
so
they're trying to get married. It's the plot of Cutie Pie 2. It's like, that's, you know what? I respect that. Like, they're just like, we just have a simple, and don't worry, Sky. I know you're thinking to yourself, you haven't seen much of Perth in Cutie Pie 2 yet. He shows up.
so
Perth
far he's
shows
on the
up.
phone a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
he's on the phone, but he shows up. You see his butt. Don't worry, he shows up. Because you don't see his butt. Like, you don't actually, like, you just,
You saw my
okay, I have to be very specific when talking about Ty BL. There's no nudity in these shows. All right? Like, the most
It is
you'll
not
see,
really that spicy.
yeah, you'll see a couple male presenting nipples. I will say, for anyone who's interested in going into this whole universe, Naughty Babe does have, I'm not gonna, it's a sex scene that's like, it's not, you don't see anything, but it's oddly intimate. So like, when you're there, you're like, should I be here? Like, should I? Like, I'm gonna see myself. Like, you truly feel like you're in a cuck chair against, like, and you're just like, whoa, wait, whoa. Oh, the way we filmed this was a little too real for me. Like, I feel like I'm really there, which I wasn't expecting. But like, is the same sort of,
So
rating.
what is the, like, behind Cutie Pie and Cutie
That's
Pie
just,
in Korea?
yeah, I think Cutie Pie and Karita was like the Korean, like they just went on, like,
Just some behind the
it's
scenes stuff.
it's a variety show, like, sort of
Oh.
situation. And the behind Cutie Pie is like the making of.
And if you're curious, those are on YouTube, sounds like.
Yeah. So like that, those are usually on the Demonti channel, where it's like, they make, the market. It's basically the marketing content, which Thai BLs, and they really know how, like, Thai BL makers know how to market a show. They've figured it out. They were like, we know how to do this. Like, if there's one thing they're gonna do, is it's going to convince people around the world to watch this show. And if you want to watch this show, you listening, it's so easy to watch. It's on Viki, and it's also on iQIYI. And it also says that it's on Netflix, but I don't believe that for a second. It's not on Netflix in North America.
What says it's on Netflix?
MDL. But
It doesn't say that on mine, that's weird.
I don't think it's the case. I do know that, like, they've been adding a lot of like Thai series. Like, they just added Kimjira,
Mhm.
and
They're
I
adding
think
more.
that they added in some places, like Pit Babe, I saw.
Now, would it
some,
shock us if it ever did end up there? No, but
no,
it
no,
would
I think
not
it
be
would fit quite
surprising.
nicely. Yeah, I just checked Pit Babe. See, I don't know if both seasons of Pit Babe are on Canadian Netflix anyway. Like the
I gotta check, this is important.
yeah, this is important. The Thai remake of that Taiwanese show.
Goddess Bless You from Death is the little marketing thing at the top of my
Yeah.
Netflix right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's on Canadian as well. Like, so if you're looking for the Pit Babe boys, they're making that easy for you.
It looks like
Now-
oh, the series, let me click into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, both seasons.
Both seasons.
Yep.
So it's like, listen, while Cutie Pie isn't there, they are apparently going in on Thai entertainment on Netflix. So that's great. I guess Dare You to Death did better than we thought it did. But it would not surprise me if they start picking up, like, Cutie Pie, and I feel like the next Prince, which is the same main actors, was an iQIYI original, if I'm remembering correctly. But
And do you recommend The Next Prince too?
the next Prince is okay. It still has their chemistrying, and I do recommend it because it's beautiful. Like it's beautiful to watch. Um, the plot goes on a little bit of a journey that I don't think like the plot goes to places that I don't think they had the time or creative ability to execute, but
Ooh.
it did its best. You know what I mean? Like it they started out with a premise and then they were like, "Oh wait, shit, we need to add like a villain and like political machinations and all this." And it's just like, you didn't though. Like anyone clicking play on the next Prince is not like, "Ooh, I'm really hoping that this has some like hard hitting like political
Poli
intrigue." And it's like, no, we want to see a like bodyguard Prince AU from the dudes from Cutie Babe, Cutie Pie. That was what we wanted, Cutie Babe. I'm gonna be saying that forever now. Now that I've got Naughty Babe and Cutie Pie put together. But it is an entertaining show. And this is sort of my premise, like especially for people who aren't super familiar with BL, but like a lot of Thai BL, especially the rom-com Thai BL, like less sort of like the horror stuff. Because there's some really good Thai horror BL, like Goddess Bless You from Death is excellent if anyone needs a recommendation. And Kemjira is incredible. But like the thing that you have to like sort of recognize when you're going into like these rom-com Thai BLs is something that I hold very dear to my heart, which is the concept that you can't let good be the enemy of entertaining. Because these shows aren't made to make high art. These shows are made to entertain you. And they're very entertaining if you don't find yourself getting caught up in the comparison to more sort of high budget, like high concept material. And they're never meant to be compared to like, listen, it's like you're not going to go out here and watch an episode of, Teen Titans Go and then be like, "Yes, let's compare this to The Dark Knight." Like that's like and that's sort of like what sort of frustrates me about sort of the modern like sort of the social media reactions to shows like this is that there a lot of posts are taking these sort of dramas that are meant to be uh like sort of the fictional equivalent of junk food, right? Like they're meant to make you feel good and have a fun, you're just supposed to have a fun little time and an enjoyable time. And then they're sort of like applying sort of a rubric of, something that's made to be hard hitting or high art to it. And that's never like you can't compare two things that aren't like it's an apples oranges situation. It's like you wouldn't go to a kids movie and hold it up to the same sort of, you know, like uh, like you wouldn't hold up a kids television show to an HBO prestige show. Like it doesn't hold up, and obviously it's like one, the audience is completely different and the purpose is completely different, and the style and the writing and everything that goes into it has like a different purpose
Mhm.
than what it's being compared to. And so when, it I find it very frustrating to exist as someone who does, and I know Sky does as well because we talk about this privately, how frustrating it is as, we are content creators about media, but it's very frustrating seeing just sort of this very, I feel like it's a little mean-spirited, like this sort of mean-spirited media critique in like the social media platform that really seems that the main intent of it is not to actually talk about what a piece for what it is, but to talk about it in only sort of derogatory sort of aspects of it, is to only pick it apart and find things that are wrong with it, which isn't actually the purpose of critique, right? Like
Right.
it's, when we're discussing something, I find there's much more value to you know, I know that I apply like a compliment sandwich to everything in my life, like how I deal with anything. And I'm very easy to please because I always try to find something positive about something that I'm spending time interacting with. Um, and I think that a lot of people have abandoned the concept of trying to figure out why they enjoy something and have turned it into an exercise of everything they experience, sort of trying to figure out why it doesn't fit an ideal and to break it down in that way.
Well, and then, like, so Jessie even recently talked about a certain, like, newer media fandom, like a TV show fandom that
Mhm.
and how it seems like a lot of the negative aspects of that people are trying to critique this good show, but it's people that, like, obviously usually don't watch TV shows, and so
Mhm.
they don't so they're trying to say, "Why are they having different directors?" Or, right, it's like they're having all these critiques, and it's like, "That's the way TV shows function,
Yeah, that's
bud."
just how it works. And, like, this one, it has, like, I think 1 or 2 writers and 1 director, because like, that's just the way Thai television. And see,
Yeah.
the way that Thai
Single season.
television works, yeah, and the way that Thai television works and Western TV works in the way that it's being made is fundamentally different, because Thailand is really operating more on a studio system, which is like what old Hollywood was, where it's like actors are under a company
You're in a
who and
stable.
yeah, and you make shows and, like, they make, fixed, sort of pairs and fixed groups and things. Um, and so to sort of like and to go into something and not have, like, a knowledge of the norms and how it works. And it's fine to critique norms if they're, like, harmful
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
and, like, to talk about, like, negative aspects of things. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it sort of frustrates me to, like, see. And I'm not talking specifically about Cutie Pie. Soapbox time. We're in the soapbox era. I'm just talking about, like, sort of modern media literacy has really taken a visibly, like, negative turn. And I don't know if it's, like, perhaps people are under the impression that if they say something negative, it'll make them seem smarter or, like, better informed or something, like. And I feel like there's what's missing is, like, being able to have something positive to say without having to add an addendum about all the things that are wrong with something.
Like, yeah, I know that this isn't the
Yeah.
best blah, 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 like,
Yeah,
you
because
don't have
every
to
time
couch it in something.
yeah, you don't have to, like, I see so many posts that are about people who you can tell love the thing that they're talking about,
Mhm.
but they'll start it off with, "It's not perfect." Nothing is, babes. You don't need to add. They're doing a reverse compliment sandwich. And it's like, no, 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 no. The compliment sandwich is you compliment, then you critique, then you end with a compliment. But they're doing critique, compliment, critique. That's a really sad way to live your life.
And that's not to say you can just straight up critique something.
Yeah,
It's
you can not like
totally
something. We're
fine.
not saying you can't.
But, like, if it is something you deeply love, you can
Mhm.
also just say, "I just enjoy this thing," and you don't
Yeah,
even have to explain
you don't have to justify.
yourself.
You don't have to justify. Just like me, I'm just like, listen. It makes me feel good. It gives me joy.
And if you
It's
hear
a
me
silly,
ever
cute little
razzing
thing.
Natalia about watching Cutie Pie, it's just because it's fun. Like, she knows I'm
Yeah.
just kidding with
Yeah,
her.
no,
Like,
no,
she knows that.
because we're friends. Like, here's the thing: the Sky and I can get away with razzing one another because we know each other so well. But sometimes, like, if someone we've never met starts razzing the other one, like, we're gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, we don't know you. We don't know you like
The
that.
overfamiliarity on social media sometimes it's like,
It, it really makes Sky to like, what? Like, what is?
something about my personality that's, like,
I don't know. What's
not good.
wrong? Whereas I'm just like,
People
listen, people want to be over familiar with me. I'm like, all right,
whatevs.
whatevs. Like, I've been that way my whole life. It's like people can say whatever they want about me. I'm like fucking water on a duck's back. I'm just like, okay, whatever, man. I don't know you.
Uh,
But if you want a silly, cute, low stakes,
oh,
romantic energy,
And
But
you
yeah.
and you love them as an actor pairing. I was
Yes,
just calling that out
I
because
think that
you
they're
like
a
that.
great actor pair. They're like
Yeah.
one of my faves. Actually, they're my iPad background. The painting I made of them from the Cutie Pie show. So, it is what it is. I'm a big this show just it has a special place in my heart, and I think that there's room in this world for everyone to have like something that has a special place in their heart that defies explanation as to why.
Oh, more than one thing. Like, you can have a ton of
Yeah.
stuff like
You can
that,
have
and
all
it's
sorts of things.
fine.
Like I feel like with things like joy, like in this sort of joy, the more you have, the more room you have for them. And siloing yourself into like one personality is not gonna, help you.
I
And
think it's
so
I think it
enjoy.
I think it's lovely to love things that
Full
like,
stop.
so love things, but
Mhm.
so Cutie Pie is not an example of, like, a bad show. Like, Cutie
No.
Pie is just cute. Like, it's just a
Yeah.
cute show.
It
Um,
fully delivers on its promise of what it wants to deliver, making it a successful show
like, for instance, I
in that
think Cutie Pie would not even fit our defend your drama thing. Like,
no.
when we do defend your drama episodes on here on the podcast, we're usually talking about,
Questionable. Like
like
things we really gotta defend. Like Unforgotten
or
Night was
things
my first one.
or
Like
things that
defend.
have been, kinda misconstrued or,
Yeah.
like, people say this about it, but no, give it a chance type thing.
Yeah.
And I guess you could that would be the only argument you could make for Cutie Pie because you said some people,
It was very
really don't
divisive.
like
Like some people really don't like it, but like, some people also really don't like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that's still an excellent show.
it.
I'm just like, okay, to agree to disagree then. Like, but I would never dissuade anyone from watching anything unless I knew there was something in it that would be triggering to them. Where I'm just like, if someone's about to watch a bad show, I'm like, enjoy. Like, that's just my opinion. So, well, I don't want to influence people to not try things because I didn't like it, because I don't know what other people will like.
And
But
I think it's fascinating to learn other people's, like I w I wouldn't call this a hyperfixation of Natalia's really, it's more like it is a comfort show of hers, and so,
mm,
like, I've always wondered what it was about the show
yeah,
that got her, and the reality is you can't actually describe it. Like,
no,
you can't.
but like
It's a very personal thing, but I can
but like
see
you
these
watching it,
tropes the way the humor just hits, and
yeah,
the way it's, like, in jokes kinda, like, most of the time like, it's
it's like,
clever.
yeah, now that you've watched it, do you understand why?
Mostly,
Is
but still, like, as far as it when something becomes, like, a comfort bench or whatever you were calling it,
mhm,
that's a very highly personal thing.
yeah,
Like,
and
as
it
far as
changes from person to person.
and sometimes you can't even describe it yourself, like, you kind of started off the episode like, you
Yeah.
can't always really place your finger on it.
Articulate what about it makes it special, because I think like it's really situational. Like
Right.
the state of mind I was in when it came out, I think really because I was not having a good time in 2022. I just need everyone to know this. Natalia was not having a good time in 20. I know that like listen, here's like real talk about Sky and I know that we have like such pleasant like personalities and like energy that we try to bring, but like we have a lot of bad times that we try to forget when we're doing this podcast because we want you to have a good time when you're listening to it. But like in 2022 it was not Natalia's best year. And I think that what was happening at that time when this show came out, I watched it every week as it came out. And it was on YouTube. I was
So,
watching it on YouTube.
did you restart it?
You
That's how you
know
did
I
it?
did. You know I did. And it was I forget what day of the week it came out. But it was once a week and I would just be like, the rest of everything going on, I can just forget it all exists because my little blorbos here are going to be misunderstanding what the other one means. And I can just put my little hands under my chin like a little flower and just be like, kick my little heels up while watching it on my little iPad. And I did. And I continue to do so because the show makes me happy. And I feel like everyone should seek something that makes them happy in that way for whenever like life is getting too much. You can be like, I can forget that exists. And who knows? If you've never seen Cutie Pie, it might, but it sounds interesting from what we said. You could possibly give it a try. Because
Like, for
it's
instance, if
so
you like
inoffensive.
suits, you got some pretty
Oh, you
suits.
got some pretty suits on pretty boys. You know? And it's like, it's sexy without being like R-rated, you know? So if like you're, just not into too, graphically sensual. I don't know what the right word for that is because it's just like I feel like graphic is wrong because it's just nudity, but
As I
like there's
say, it's
no
not quite nudity.
yeah, because there's no nudity. Like you see some male presenting nipples. Oh, oh no, someone like goes to undo someone else's belt and then the angle changes. Like, okay, we understand, it's not like a closed door romance in any stretch of the imagination, but it's not like, it's not like a kin Porsche. You know what I mean? Like
We're not kin portioning. That is
it's not kin Porsching. It's very much like it is rated R, but I think that's a little bit high. I think a PG-13 would be
a PG-13 would
totally
suffice.
fine for this. Like it's really not. Like I think a 15-year-old
I
could
can't
watch this and it would be fine.
why would it be I can't imagine why it would be like, there's really not
I think it says, let me tell you here what it says on MDL. I accidentally shut the window, but it says rated R for you're gonna love this, for violence and profanity. The show has no violence in it. There's no violence in this
Is there
show.
really even profanity?
I think there's a little, but it's
Like,
not that
it's
much.
not a big aspect of any of the characters,
No,
really.
I think
They
like,
don't typically
what
talk like
like
that.
I think like, I'm pretty sure Yi like tells Leon like, fuck you. Like at one point, like it's like not, it's not, like they're saying like, shit. Like it's not, like cussing people out
Yeah,
over
like, I was
and
like,
over.
we didn't have a moment where we were, cussing some we really didn't do any of that.
Yeah, I really don't understand why it's rated R. Like actually, I'm like now I'm sort of curious to like go on to Viki because Viki's ratings. Let's look up Cutie Pie here. Let's see what it's rated. Cutie Pie. Yep, I just want to look at it. What is it? It's rated
NC-17.
NC-17. When I tell you that is the most unnecessary rating that I've ever. You don't see a damn thing in this.
Okay, so, like, one of the times that, like, an angle change it
Oh no, they tongue kiss.
right, like, there's really
Like, relax.
R is really pushing it. Like, NC-17 is not that's not.
Let's see what it's rated on iQIYI. This is like fun now. Like in iQIYI, it's just rated R. Still too much.
Still too much.
Still too much. But like, I'm not as offended by that. But like, Viki, what are we doing?
I'm offended by the NC-17.
I'm offended. Like, listen, can Porsche rate NC-17? Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
You
sure.
can.
It has violence. It has swearing.
Huge...
It has like a lot of violence. It has sexual violence. It has, I get it. This is so inoffensive in any way. Like, what are we talking about? It fades to black before you see anything.
I get. There's no buts.
I'm offended. I'm offended. Like, genuinely. Like, Viki, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
I thought Viki had gotten better about the ratings a little bit, but I don't think that's good. That doesn't bode well.
Good. And it's like the thing is like there are like shows that I would say, yeah, that's a fine rating. Like for example, like My Personal Weatherman.
Yeah.
On there, I'm like, yeah, okay. Sure. Like maybe
but okay.
Like Love in the Air, sure, I guess. Like I would go R personally for Love in the Air, but like, sure. Like it's a bit more explicit. But like this is so like the thing about that offends me is that that if this was a straight couple, Like the amount that they show on this, it would not be rated NC-17.
Yeah, that's why I'm actually looking up what's wrong with Secretary Kim.
Because it has the same
Because it's the same level,
has the
in my
same
opinion.
level of like sexual content.
PG-13.
So just listen, it has the same level of sex related.
There's probably more smooching, but that's
just the BL. That's just because it's a BL.
Right.
But it's like they're not. You're not showing nudity other than some male chest, which they also show in Secretary Kim.
And like
famously,
I feel like I vaguely remember like, you know how
he like undoes her blouse.
Yeah, like it was a little bit more
racy, but it wasn't like
it was more than some other case, you know, and of course depending on the studio and all this stuff. But like PG-13, according to Viki, what's wrong with Secretary Kim, which I think would be the appropriate level.
Rating. That's an appropriate rating
for Cutie Pie. Should be PG-13 if that's what you're giving Secretary Kim.
Because they're like they have the same level of raciness during the racy scenes.
Yeah, like it's the same kind of cutoff point. Like
the only difference is there's only one difference that I can see. Viki, listen, I'm always on Viki's ass about this. Like I've actually written them. I've written them because at one point this is like deep lore for the Noonas. I have sort of a not disguised beef with Viki. And I actually wrote them like a really scathing email at one point because I was so mad about their BL ratings because there's this little KBL called Mr. Heart. And it is the most G-rated situation. Okay. And they had it rated R. And I was like, is it because it's gay? Are you just being homo? Do you think that gay characters are intrinsically sexual, even though nothing sexual is happening, Viki? Is that what you want to put out in the world, Viki? Is that what you want to be telling people, Viki?
So now Mr. Heart is PG-13, but I would argue
it's PG at best.
Still not appropriate. Like
it's PG at best. But like
PG.
there is like sort of a really annoying like the show, like for example, we're talking about the shows that are now like the Thai shows being added to Netflix, like Goddess Bless You from Death. I do believe it's rated R on Netflix. That's appropriate. That's appropriate. But the thing is, it's not appropriate because of gay or sexual content. It's appropriate because it's an incredibly violent show that has like gore and stuff.
I was like, one of the tags is gore. So like,
like it has like actual, it's gory, like because it is a horror show. Like it makes sense that Kenjira would be rated R for like similar situations, but like the sex, nah. No.
I think we've
if you ain't seeing crack, that R rating needs to go down. All right, I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion.
Definitely, unless you're seeing that.
Yeah,
the NC-7, you know.
Listen, if you're not simulating penetration on camera, we don't need to be doing R-rated stuff, all right? If it's just some little smooch, you're smooching up someone's like chill out. Chill out, Brenda. You can it's actually really funny. One of my sister's names is Brenda. But I always say Brenda and she's like totally cool. So I don't know why I always just like land on Brenda. That's probably because it's called Fashion Brenda, look it up. But like chill out. Just these ratings are wild. PG-13, we're calling it. All right, you can trust the Noonas ratings. PG-13 is totally fine.
Yeah.
Like a 15-year-old could watch this and would come out unscandalized.
Right. They'd be like
okay. I would watch this with my nieces. Wouldn't bother. I wouldn't feel like I'm doing something inappropriate whatsoever.
There's also not like there's not really a lot of inappropriate joking, and the type that is the stuff that gets called out, and he's like, dude, you're making me uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, which I think is good to see for the youth, that you can call out your friends being inappropriate.
Right.
Anyway, Sky, thank you. Thank you for doing that. I had like a bad week, so thank you for this little treat. And she, by the way, I just want to point out, she watched this whole show in 2 days. 2 days she did this for me. That's how good friends we are. All right? You should get a friend like this.
Natalia's been sick for, like, 2 months
I know.
and having a really bad time, so I was like,
And I've been working so
I
much.
think I can, like, I could kinda tell that my schedule was to where I could it's like, I can pop out a Cutie
We could
Pie,
do
I think.
give a little treat for old Natalia to start May off. Um, yeah, the Noonas don't know we're doing this. They we haven't told them that we changed the topic, but they won't care.
They'll understand.
They'll understand. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you had a good time. This was like a way longer episode than like I think we intended it to be, but time flies when you're having fun. So, and I'm always having fun when talking Cutie Pie. I'm so happy that someone else watched it. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. We'll be back next week with a non-Cutie Pie related episode. I don't off the top of my head remember what next week's episode is, but I'm sure it's good.
It might adjust. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, you can check us out in audio wherever podcasts can be found, like mostly, the Spotify's, Apple iTunes, Podbean, that sort of thing. But we are also in video if you prefer if you want, listen, I feel like our video podcast would be like a perfect, like lunchtime companion. Like you can sit a little iPad with us playing on a table. And like we're having a discussion, you can just yell stuff at us like while you're eating, like you're part of the group. Like we love that shit. That would be fun, actually. That's what I use YouTube videos for. I don't yell at it, but I'll put it on when I'm eating so that I feel like I have company.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that we serve that purpose for some people. So, and if we do, let us know in the comments. Anyway, and if you want to support this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/certified Noonas and join the Found Family. They're a Found Family on the web and we love them. And, they've been supporting us for years and we really genuinely, non-parasocially appreciate all the support they've given us to keep this podcast going and keeping it, for free for everyone, which is great. Because, we don't have hosting money. But the community said, we want you to have hosting money here, and genuinely appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we hope that your week is filled with your own special joys and happinesses. And as always, wear a mask, wash your hands, and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. And who knows, if you've never tried some Thai TV, perhaps this could be your opportunity. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.